What's up, Vetters? Patrick here with Vetted. Today I have an awesome video to share. We are going to be talking about a Navy research laboratory scientist who claims to have the ability of telekinesis. That's right. He refers to it as Psychotronics. We'll get into that more in just a second. I've got a video of him demonstrating moving an object with his mind. That's right. Moving an object with his mind. Again, confirmed he is a Naval Research Laboratory scientist. Let's dive into this, y'all. This is kind of crazy. All right, so I don't know. I'm not claiming anything. I'm just going to show it to you. You decide for yourself. So here's the video. It was released in 2018, but he puts up, more videos. But his name is Dr. Jaynes, specifically this guy right here, Reginald Lamar Jaynes. Okay, he's a researcher at the United States Naval Research Laboratory. And this is what he looks like here, because I honestly couldn't find a picture of him. But he just released this video a few days ago about a Tesla coil he was building, right? But if we go back in time, we see this video he put up, right? And I'm going to read this little description, and I'm going to play the video. Okay, so it says, this video, the latest installment of Dr. Jaynes' personal research into the fascinating world of psychotronic energy and the psychic use of telekinesis to move objects with the mind and how this relates to UFO propulsion systems. In this video, I use a plastic cup lined with aluminum foil to create a Faraday cage. A Faraday cage is when you make a metal box or enclosure which, due to the nature of electron and conductor to rearrange themselves rapidly, effectively cancels all electric and electromagnetic inside the Faraday enclosure. I think he means Faraday enclosure. In this video, I use life energy or psychotronic energy to spin a rotor isolated inside a Faraday cage, proving that these strange fields are not electromagnetic in nature and in fact constitute a new force of nature and a new form of energy not yet recognized by conventional science. I also utilize a special generator of artificial psychotronic energy generator, which I invented, to also move the motor, proving that this energy can also penetrate a Faraday cage. Better forget about your aluminum foil hats because they will not protect you from psychotronic weapons. Very interesting. Now, before I play this video, let's look up Psychotronics. See, when you look up Psychotronic, it comes up like this, right? Psychotronic Video is an American film magazine founded Michael J. Well in 1980 New York City, covering what he dubbed psychotronic movies. So psychotronic movies, right? Psychotronic, denoting or relating to a genre of movies, typically with a science fiction, horror, or fantasy theme that were made on a low budget or poorly received by critics. Now, if you add the S, psychotronics, you get this definition, right? Psychotronics or psychotronic may refer to parapsychology, a Soviet term for parapsychology, right? So there we go. There's that. All right, let's watch this video now. Let's see what we're working with here.
The glass actually does attenuate the energy quite a bit because, let's concentrate here. If I don't have the glass over it, I can actually make it spin pretty fast.
So he's basically saying his hand, the energy from his body, the psychotronic energy as he's calling it,
the energy is actually greatly attenuated by putting the glass over top of it.
It still continues to move. There's some interesting sounds in the background. We'll get to that in a second. I got a theory I'm going to throw at y'all.
Okay.
Let's keep watching.
Okay, so here we have a cup that I've coated with aluminum foil on the inside, and a psychotronic spinner, piece of aluminum foil on a basically a needle, And
toothpicks with tape and a
talk
needle.
about Faraday cages. So in electronics, Faraday cages are very, very important because what happens is that Faraday cages are capable of shielding the electric fields completely, and the way they do that is that the electrons will rearrange themselves very quickly and basically cancel out all fields on the inside. But psychotronic energy is not the same. Psychotronic energy is not shielded by metal. It can go right through metal. So this makes it very interesting for different aspects.
What kind of energy is it exactly? I guess I'm confused. Well, I saw it move a little there.
I don't know if you saw it move a little bit there.
We did. It's moving again. I mean, it just barely moves. Oh, it's moving. Like a clock. It's moving clockwise. And then it just stopped.
Well, anyway, it's on the side now.
It's moving the other way.
Anyway, there's the rotor spinning inside.
This is an interesting experiment.
Zoom in a little bit, I guess.
Okay, you mean just kind of hit it. Okay, it's moving. It's too zoomed in.
So the rotor's being spun by psychotronic energy from my hands, and it's penetrating through the metal. Hopefully you can see that okay. Hope there's not too much glare on the top of this thing. Okay.
But see, it still keeps moving even after he takes his
energy
hand
stays
off.
in there for a little bit.
The energy stays in there for a little bit. All right, I have a few questions. Let's just work our way backwards. So let's start with this thing that he did. So he puts the cup over it that's got aluminum. Again, I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert. I don't know. You make up your own mind. You decide, right? And to me, doesn't mean telekinesis is real or not just based off of this, but I'm saying this particular experiment. And again, I'm no expert, but just right off the bat, as a layman, as a, your average Joe here, it's something's off. Sounds weird. Feels weird. And I just have questions. Maybe they're answered. So, for instance, the way he has to cup the cup, right? The way he's actually cupping it, right? Like grabbing it tightly is interesting to me, right? Because it's almost like he's heating what's inside the glass. Like your hand has heat in it, right? Your body heat. I could transfer into it. Because when he puts the cup down, there's still air in it, right? When he puts the cup down over the thing, there's still air in there. And I mean, maybe this is not even possible, but could his hand be heating the air in there, and that change in temperature is what makes it move? I don't know. But something's off about him having to grab it so tightly and touch the foil if that has nothing to do with it, right? If he's saying his energy can go through the glass, why can't he just put his hand up like the Force, right? Like this, like away from the cup and move it. Does that make sense? Put it away from the cup and move it. But the fact that he has to grab it so tightly and put his other hand down. Did you notice that? It's like his left hand is down and this one's cupping it. It's just a weird, I don't know, something off about that. And again, what about the air that's still in the cup when he puts it down? There could be something to that. Again, I'm no expert, right? So something seems up. And the way this thing is set on there is so light, so tip. I mean, anything could move it, right? It's like it's dangling on one point. And depending on how you have the weight distribution on the other 4 points. So right here on this point on the actual needle, right, let me get a better. Okay, so see right here, he's got to hold this left hand there. That's weird to me. And the way he grabs it like that is also weird, right? That's what I was talking about. But right here. Let's see where he picks it up. Yeah. Okay, so see all of these points. That's just the base, all right? So that's holding the needle up. But we don't know if it's holding the needle up straight, right? Exactly straight. Does that make sense? To set something on top of it, right? And then you've got all the 4 points of the aluminum, but how do we know they all weigh the same? Does that make sense? And then because you've got 1 point there. So if the weight distribution is off on the edges of this foil, that just can make it move on its own, right? There's gravity. So I don't know how secure. You can clearly see it's not the same, right? There's a bump here, no bump on this side, no bump on this side, a little bit of a bump here. It's off. It's not sitting directly on top. So that has to throw it off, in my opinion. Right? But again, I'm no expert. And then you could hear it in the background. Listen to the sound of the
greatly attenuated.
Listen to the background
the glass
sound
over top of it.
You hear that? What does that sound like? A fan. And the way he cups his hand like this, right? If a fan was blowing in this way, this would make it move. Does that make sense? You would think, right? It would make it move one way. So maybe he has a little fan to the side that's actually moving it. I don't know. That would mean he's faking this experiment, and that's quite an allegation on my part. I'm not, I don't know. I'm not trying to make that allegation. I'm just saying maybe he didn't notice the fan or the air movement in the room. Is he controlling that? Like, we don't know the air movement in the room that could affect this. I mean, this is clearly just thrown together, put up on the web. It's too zoomed in. We need to see more of the room, what more around this. Basically, it needs to be more controlled and have more people there to, right, demonstrate this, because you're claiming to move things with your mind, right? So all other factors need to be eliminated before that, claim is made. Because that is what he's saying, that he could do that. And psychotronic energy is real, and he's moving it with his hand, and he can even move it through a Faraday cage. But clearly the Faraday cage is affecting it somehow, or the cup is, because when he moves it, look how fast it moves, just his hand. So imagine wind coming in this way, right? A little fan that you can hear. You can hear a fan. You can hear AC, something, right, that could be moving that.
So the energy is actually greatly attenuated.
See how it still keeps
the
moving.
glass over top of it.
It still keeps moving. And he puts that over real quick. All right, he's got this glass over. Again, there's all this air inside there still, right? And there's just something about the way it moves like this. It barely moves.
It can go right through metal. So this...
It can go right through metal. Well, clearly not. Not in the way you're saying. Clearly something is buffering it or filtering it. Why isn't it moving at the same speed? Doesn't make sense. Something's off about this. I don't know. I'm not saying telekinesis isn't real. I'm just saying this in particular is interesting. And this guy is, right here, Reginald Lamar Jaynes, researcher at United States Naval Research Laboratory. So maybe I'm wrong. There are some science majors or scientists or engineers or somebody in the comments who can correct me on this or answer some of the questions I threw out. Would any of those have effect? The air in the cup, right? Could there be a fan in the room? We don't know the air movement in the room, right? The currents that are going on in there. The way the foil is folded, right? If the weight distribution is off, right? We don't know if that needle is pointing directly up. There's just a lot of different factors, right? And why does he have to cup like this so much, right? And put his other hand down? I don't know. Again, why can't he just surround it with his hands and put, if it goes through the aluminum, right? It's not stopping it. So I don't know. I have a lot of questions on this, but people are freaking out over that video. Like, oh my God, proves it. Telekinesis is real. Well, wait a second. For me, that's not enough to prove anything. But look, people are putting out, videos and showing what they can do and showcase. All right. All the more power to it. But in my opinion, this experiment needs a lot more control. Again, I'll put links in the description. You can go check out other videos he's done if you want. I don't know. Is this guy legit? And if not, he's doing research at the Naval Research Laboratory, right? Like that. What are we doing? So, Dr. Jaynes, very interesting, right? So, all right. Links in the description, vetters. Let me know what you think. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace.